Hello friends! Many parents struggle while teaching tricky spellings to children. Here are various worksheets and ideas to make spellings fun and interesting for our early learners. These worksheets will build vocabulary and spelling skills. I hope you're already subscribed to the channel. If not, do subscribe for more such videos. And remember to like and comment on this one. One of the simplest ways of teaching spellings is unjumbled words. Basically, any spelling that you want the child to learn, give them the alphabets, the letters in the spelling in a jumbled form. The child has to unscramble and write the correct answer. For young children, you can use some pictures to help them out. So this would be like baby, king, window. Now, why I took a word like window is window. Children often stop here, but when they check it out here, they see another W is left, so they would add it here. And practicing it like this makes it much more fun and interesting for them. As the child grows a little older, you can eliminate the pictures and just give them the jumbled words. Now here I have mentioned the category as animal so that it's easier for the children to do it. So this would be monkey, this would be zebra for instance. Another way of doing it is through chapters. Now once the children are reading their chapters and you feel that they need to learn certain spellings, you can pick spellings from the chapter and jumble them up like this. Again, it makes learning spellings a little more fun for the children. And that is what we need to do. We need to make studies interesting and fun. So, monkey, that's how this is added. Another thing that I do here, in case the child is not able to unscramble and is not able to figure out which word I have given, I underline the first alphabet. So that acts as a clue. So in case the child would not be able to understand which word this is, if I underline this, so they know that it's supposed to be an animal starting from Z, and they will be able to write the correct spelling and reach to the answer. Hidden words. Now this is another very interesting set of worksheets which children really love doing. After all our children love to play hide and seek. So hide and seek with spellings. You add a bigger word which has some smaller word in it, hiding inside. So spring, you have ring in it and the child has to write it. Sprout for out. And the words keep going. There could be some words where there are more than one option. So here there could be peer, there could be just ear, it could be ran, it could be the entire word appear. Give children an option to choose whatever they want and even multiple choices. Why not? Another interesting way to do the same worksheet is like this. Here I haven't mentioned any spelling. So the child needs to first look here, write the spelling. So this would be cloud and then find the hidden word in cloud. Again, a very interesting way of teaching the children, right? So this is mask for ask, okay? So you'll have to be a little innovative, a little creative, but believe me, if you actually sit down with a book, you'll find multiple words which can be used like this. Another set of worksheets that I really love doing with children are compound words. Now, very often I find that children, when they come across a big word, they often get very worried, very confused. So if we break it down into smaller words for them, it's easier for them to learn it. For example, basketball would be basket and ball, right? So they know the spelling basket and ball, they can get to basketball very comfortably. Okay, so all these are very simple. Since the whole word has been written, they basically need to understand how they are breaking the word. Again, giving them information about a complete word and its subparts, how to break up a word. Another way of doing the same kind of worksheet is not to give them the whole spelling and let them spell it out on their own. So I gave gold and I just drew a fish. So the child has to write the entire word goldfish himself or herself. Now we come to multiple scrambles. These are again very interesting for children to follow. So you give them a big, huge word and they have to find smaller words from these. And they can use it in any combination. The sequence doesn't have to remain constant. Constant, that's the first word which they can actually find. But of course the child would have to be a little older for this. For smaller children, they can find words like sat. They could find net. They could find sit, and so on. Of course, older children can find longer words, completely up to the level of the child, and it's wonderful to build their vocabulary. Same goes for this word, like it's a huge word, grandparents. So grand and parents, besides that you can have and you can have any other combination. Again, you can have net. One thing, ask them not to add s to the end of all words just to make it longer. And usually if the child is a little older, maybe 5 or 6, and the child is comfortable with reading and spellings, I ask them not to make 3-letter words. They should start at 4 and 5-letter words. Again, this is a age-based thing, so you can take a choice as a parent and see what kind of words or how many letters you want the child to include in the words. For very young children, even 2-letter words are fine. So, you could have in, is, it, all these words. All words are acceptable. Remember that. Next, we come to another way of doing a multiple scramble, which is like a word bingo. Now, in the previous sheet, we had a complete meaningful long word. This here is just a set of random alphabets. And usually, I make sure that the children have to include the central letter in whatever words they make. So in this case, they could make rice, they could make rib, they could go on and make like a word like brim. So not necessary that they start with the same letter. Now here, see, they can even make comb. But since it does not include E, I would not allow them in this particular case. But it's completely okay. You can have rules as you want and make sure that the children play according to that. Again, once you make studies into games and make it interesting for them, they'll really love doing all this. Now fill in the blanks. This is something really simple, but I have found it to be very useful while teaching exceptions and confusing or new spellings. Let me give a small example of using this worksheet. Now this is a web, whether to write w or v. They both have the same sounds. V. So what should the child add here? Once they are comfortable, they will add the correct spelling. Now ring, the letter N has a very soft sound here. So this is basically giving children a hint that something needs to come here, and what needs to come they should be able to correlate. Now ball, ideally it should be b-o, but of course we all know that the spelling is b-a. So simple way of teaching it. Same with vase, same case like this. Lemon, technically m-a-n, but we know that it should be an or right here. So words like this with practice become very easy for children to attempt and understand. So just make sure that they're able to do it like that. You can use these to teach them simple blending, use of digraphs, and any other concept that they are learning recently. For example, goat, so just O, but they need to add OA. Chair, so what is the sound for ch? Right? So these are very simple worksheets again. Frog, desk, again there should be a K in the end, even though the sound is of a K. So why K and why not C? That is another complete video that I have made on all the possible combinations of the sound of K. Please make sure that you watch it in case you're interested. Now word chain or a ladder link. A very simple and easy activity. You don't have to do anything and you can keep the child busy for hours. A common question I'm asked is that during these lockdown days, how to teach and how to keep children busy. Simplest example, apple with a, egg with g, any word that they want, and you keep continuing. They can make up to 50 words doing this, and that would keep them busy for a good amount of time. Circle the correct spelling. Now this particular worksheet is based on the concept of analytical phonics and not synthetic phonics, which means that they are supposed to sound it out, of course, that is synthetic, but they're supposed to look at the word and understand which is the correct spelling, because technically they are all the same. Bucket, bucket, bucket. So the correct spelling, of course, we all know is this one, but for a child who's just learning spellings, it could be a little confusing, and they need to understand that they can look at certain words and know which is the correct spelling. So when you have a word like fly, all these are synthetically correct, but this is the actual pronunciation and the actual spelling, right? Go ahead and practice many worksheets like this, especially if children make common mistakes in their spellings. This would be a great way to ensure that the mistakes are taken care of and the children focus and understand that there could be multiple ways of writing a word, but which is the actual and correct spelling for that word. Another example like bird. Bird could be this, bird could be this, but it is actually this, right? Try it out. I'm sure your children will love it and it'll make learning spellings a cup of tea for them. Replace letters to form new words. Again, another very simple and interesting worksheet to build on to their vocabulary. So this is dog. They just have to replace one letter and make it into a new word. Log, fog, bog, anything could be possible. This is just a simple example of what I have done. Now bite, so they could write sight, they could write R-I-T-E, R-I-T, provided they know the meaning of the word, of course. Case, so now when we are editing the last sound, it's not going to be a rhyming word, so case could turn into cast, right? It could turn into cask as well. It completely depends on the vocabulary of the child and the imagination and learning level of the child as to how the sound is presented. So that brings us to the end of our worksheets. I hope you'll enjoy doing them with the children. Do comment and let me know whether it was useful and educational for them. Thank you. Happy learning. Happy teaching.